Hey guys, Thomas Leroy here. I want to try another to make this video again about loneliness. And I've been seeing a lot of people, just recently, um, they were talking about the loneliness, this loneliness epidemic in America, anyway. And excuse me. And in general, I mean, it's not anything that's really all that complicated. It's just simply uh, what we've allowed the television and the internet, social media, to do to society. We've allowed them to program, and we don't have to. See, it's there's no reason, there's nothing that says we have to allow them any particular programming on television or the radio or anything else, and that it can't be made illegal if we want to be able to have a healthier society. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't mean that we curtail free speech necessarily. I mean, but the simple fact of the matter is that there's a lot of subtle programming, influencing that's been going on, and it's just like, oh, wait a second, hold on. It's just like with the Paul Harvey speech, "If I Were the Devil." Well, the thing of it is as a society, we have to say, no, you can't do this, and no, you can't do that. There's no reason to believe that we can't turn back the hands of time as a society. We can choose to not have specific types of technology available to the public. We could choose to keep AI in a controlled sandbox of some sort and study the people that used it to find out whether or not AI is anything good for us. And we could keep AI from being connected to every other thing in the world if we were to choose these things. But we can legislate these things. We can legislate that no, you can't replace people with robots. We can legislate all these things, just like we can legislate how all businesses will close on Sunday if we want. You see what I'm saying? Uh, but again, yeah, it is basically the loneliness thing is because of the darkness and their attitude and the demons that they have. And that's why we refused them and we rejected them and we still do. We'll not have them. We're not in love with them. Whenever I talked about a new beginning, I wasn't talking about a new beginning with the night or the damned darkness or with magic of any sort or any other damned thing. We didn't ask for a new show for any of the damned to put on for us. We're just talking about how we're moving forward without them, without the darkness, without the evil. We're not looking for a new dream. Now, if that means we're going home, we're leaving and going home, that's fine with me because we've been wanting to do that for like 15 or 16 years now. At least be free of the dam so we can move on and continue on with whatever it is we needed to finish. And, so either or, leave and go home is fine with me, or be free of the evil and the damned and all the darkness because we're not in partnership with them, and move on. I see if there is an actual loneliness epidemic out there, it's because of their involvement with me and what they've done and how they've played the game. And it was adversarial and it was all competitive. And you know what? So if there's a bunch of women out there that are finding themselves in their early 40s, finding out that they've never been with a guy and they don't have any love and don't have any friends and this, that, and another, but then there's a bunch of men, I think, that are feeling the same way. There's a bunch of the day out there that probably feels like, well, there's just no sense in it, because I don't see what I would be attracted by, basically. Um, or I haven't been seeing it, not projected, not portrayed. I've been seeing, a whole bunch of the attitude, the and this one woman that I was watching today, she was talking about, about I guess the third wave feminists, the man haters and such. And but when you look at, and I've seen, and I know these are indicators to say, oh, it could all be turned around, and this is, yeah, it's going to be great, and it's going to be, everything's going to be blah blah blah. Well, yeah, I don't really believe in it. And I've had so much of it, I don't think I want any of it. You see what I'm saying? I keep on saying I want to leave, go home. In other words, I want to go back, be with light, people of light, people that are saying, there's not this animosity thing going on between the sexes, or between light and darkness and all that stuff. And it's all, I think what we're seeing is indicators of a doomed, failed world, one that cannot survive because they don't come together. It didn't work out. The if you see, I mean, I've even seen some of these videos where they're talking about the loneliness of women, but the women, they're talking about how they're lonely, but a bunch of these women are still blaming men. Men are to blame. Well, guess what, bitches? Men don't care what your opinion is. If what are you supposed to, what do you think you have? Again, men are not put here to serve women. They're not put. They're not made to serve women. They're not made to be exclusively for the use of women. Not in any way, shape, or form. I did once talk about how the provider, being a provider, was a natural role for a man in a family relationship. That was supposedly, that was part of the design. They're not compelled to do that for women, and especially not good women. I mean, for a good woman, men are going to show a lot of respect, But since, that doesn't seem to be a thing anymore, and women are just going to be men or what, I mean, they've got this whole attitude thing going on out there where basically they're training all these young women to miss the time of being a girl, which is what is most attractive. Whenever I was making this video the first time, talked about how there was this one woman I've been watching who is portraying herself as a guide, and I was trying to figure out why I was attracted to her, and I was thinking, well, I wonder if it isn't that she's a particular spirit that I've known and loved, in a sense, very familiar with, and I suspect it might be true. But then I was also going past that, trying to figure out there's other things here that's going on that's making this seem attractive. And it's not just the physical thing. It's not just the face. It's not just that all the imperfections are brought together in a perfect way. But I realized she was still, and I guess it's because of the age that she is portraying. I started to think it was that because of the age she is portraying, that she still has the girl thing going on. She's a girl, girlish, very feminine. And so, of course, I'm going, as representative of the masculine, I've always been susceptible to noticing the feminine, the beauty there. And so I analyze, doing again the masculine thing. I'm doing the analysis of what it is. And why men, and I will mention this. There was a study done like 40 years ago that 18-year-old men or boys are attracted to 18-year-old girls, and 30-year-old men are attracted to 18-year-old girls, and 60-year-old men are attracted to 18-year-old girls. And the reason why, guys, is because they're girls. They're not a competitor. They're not trying to prove to you that they're more man than you. Okay? They're still suffering from lots of estrogen. In other words, they're feminine. They're not what I am. You see? That's why it attracts us. It's the opposite. It's the complementary part, I should say, rather than the opposite. They're not opposite, they're complementary, if they're of the same spirit. But if you show up being something other than girl, it's like, oh yeah, you're a girl because you still are this age and you do still have girlish ways, blah, 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 blah. But you've been trained to instead be a competitive man, right? To outdo men and to know that you're superior to men, blah, 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 et cetera, so on and so forth, and have all the weird attitudes and stuff that goes with that, which completely goes against all that is natural for you being in a binary role, right? Then you're going to basically you're going to end up like one of these others where you've missed your girlish time. Because you focused on your career, or you just simply decided you weren't going to get married until you're 30, or you were too busy being a man. So I don't know, you just got an attitude, emotional issues, or something like that. Or you bought into it's us against them type of thing, which is Satan. Again, it's always Satan that's doing that. That's what their deal is, dividing people from each other. But that's what it is, is I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, well, why is girlishness attractive? Well, look, first of all, it's not challenging. She's being feminine. Now I can see that is not, she's not aggressive. Okay. And if you know anything, then you do understand that feminine has a specific power and it is soft control. It's very soft. It leads. It, it's not aggressive. It's not, look, this is the way it is, and that's the way it's going to be, and this is how it's going to be done, and blah blah blah, and it's not masculine at all. It's very feminine, and that is a non-aggressive. It's something that, and I don't know if she knows that she's doing it or not, but she is being very feminine in her approach and how she acts, her demeanor, her speech. So that's all attractive. It's softness. That's why men are attracted to girls. What do you want to raise your little babies? Do you want some aggressive, hard case gangster bitch who can barely love an animal, let alone and is in really some kind of weird competition with you, her supposed spouse? Do you think that's going to be something you want raising your children? You probably are. Well, if you're getting with that, you're probably not going to have kids, are you? You probably already are despairing over that, leaving it going, yeah, this is the best we can hope for in an age like this, in a graceless age, or something, like, well, it seems to me like an awful lot of guys get with some of these women because they're trained to want sex, they, and plus, hey, they may still, not be a snake and feel like, that they're a communal creature, they're a human, and they're still listening to their program. It might be the spirit in them, they're still trying to figure out, how to have that relationship, to have love. And the only problem is that, they're not spiritually educated enough to know that, no, the women that you're looking at are all spiritually contaminated. They've been programmed to be aggressors, to compete with you and to take your place if possible. What do gangster bitches get? Gangster bitches get gangsters. And gangsters know better than to stick with the gangster whore. She's going to be, why? Why would he? What's his incentive to be with the gangster bitch? He's a contentious competitor. Competitive. Contentious. Disrespectful. I'll show you I can do anything you can do. I can do it better. Why does he want that? What's I mean, he's not homosexual, so he's not going to go out and get a man, right? Which would be about the equivalent. He wants something with breasts and roundness and this and that because he wants sex. And that's what it is to, there you go. But to stick with it, to love it, to commit to it with his spirit, his soul, his heart, his life. Why? Why would he do that? Why? Again, does he think that this is going to be a good mommy for his kids? Well, if he's a gangster guy and he don't plan on staying around, he don't really care. It's just, a gator expects gators to be raised by gators, and they're going to turn out to be gators. And the only problem for the gators is that they have still some humanity in them. Gangster bitches are still human women, and the problem for them is that, they got that demon. They took it on. They didn't mean to, but they took it on, and they haven't resisted it. They didn't know that they were supposed to. They didn't know that they were being lied to and being given wrong ways to think. Because what they were being taught, at least they believed, was how not to be a victim. Okay? Now remember what the victimizer does. Okay? He who is the victimizer, he goes out and he injures men and or women. And then if he can, he'll get them to become angry and see the other side as the problem, not him. Remember, hate doesn't want you to think that hate is something separate from you. It wants you to think that's natural. And that it's not, that that hate's not the problem. The spirit isn't the problem, but it's just that other group. You see what I'm saying? So indeed, there is an other, and it's something very different from love. And it's called wrath, hate, anger. And it has all kinds of other little things that goes with it that is symptoms of it. And therein lies the reason why there's so many people lonely out there, because their natural roles as men and women have been kind of thwarted. And it's, again, just because we've allowed society to do what it's done, and none of us stopped it. We didn't stop it back in the 70s. We didn't stop it in the 80s. We didn't stop it in the 90s. I think basically the world has a course that it naturally runs, and then it gets to a certain point where you do stupid shit like combine light with darkness, life with death, and expect what? To get what out of that, other than to see everything just go to hell, right? I mean, you can't take the source of everything that's supposed to be happy, good, and blah, 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 all the life stuff and all reaffirming of that, and combine it with a bunch of the opposite and expect things to turn out correctly. What I've seen is a great competition. And so why do competitors get together and tell each other that they love each other? I don't think that's something that happens. Why would enemies lay down with each other? That's not anything I want to do. I don't want to be combined with anything of darkness. I refuse to be partnered with anything of darkness. Over and over again, over and over, we've said no. Because why? Because I'm the day on the left and the right. Heaven makes me the day on the left and the right, without the forces of darkness, shadow, or night. And so it's just what it is. People aren't playing their parts. I mean, why would you expect a guy to want to marry a woman and become the main breadwinner and provider for her so that she could pop out some kids and them have a family and raise a family unit? Why would he want to commit himself to a woman who is really not anything but a little bit different version of another guy who's just, a competitor who's wanting to run the show, who thinks they know everything, and is not supportive of him? But I mean, what's going to happen if his wages fall below a certain level? Won't she just chuck him to the side and replace him with the next paycheck producer? What is the reason why guys would believe that they should be invested in any way, shape, or form with anything other than their business? That's where, I don't know. It looks like it's. I think I've failed again, and I'll put this. I'll put this out. But I think I've failed with this video. I guess I haven't said what I. It looks bleak. That's the problem. It looks very bleak. It looks like it went too far. Went way too far to repair. It looks like it's all over. like entire generation has been lost. It looks like, well, they're just so damn damaged at this point. What could we ever do to fix it? You know, it looks like a lot the world, and of course this crap ass relationship stuff that darkness was trying to impose upon me. It all just looks like it's just a total fail because it is what it is. It looks like the world has come to its ending, and there is an end. I'm sure of that. I saw one of them the other day who I think turned a long time ago, saying how, oh, they think that it's going to go on for a long time. It's going to be a long time before Jesus comes back. I don't think so. I don't think there's. I don't see this. I don't see this work. Even if everything I've been told become true, there would have to be such an incredible shift in the world and society that I just don't think it's even possible. And I think it's because of what the world is comprised of now and what has been connected to me too much. Unless I can be completely and totally made absolutely free of all that without any susceptibility to any of those which I consider enemies, then it's just we're going home. That's all. There's no reason to think about getting married or having kids or any kind of happiness stuff or holiday fun or that's the reason why all these things are just ending. You know, I saw a thing the other day where people were saying Halloween just doesn't seem to be Halloween anymore. It's gone. It's like nobody, you know, the kids weren't trick or treating and this and that. Well, it's because of the polarization. That's all. More and more people are seeing, oh, no, that's kind of dark. Oh, this. And you know what? It's just not comfortable. Those people that are of light, those people that are of the day, they, you know, I'm pretty sure all Christians are praying that the world end, you know? So again, I renounce Satan and all his works and all that is the darkness. And I'll make a different video about what I perceived about becoming more sociable. Okay, guys, thanks very much for the love and support. And I don't think this video is going to solve anything for anyone because I think pretty much everyone's locked in to who they are and what they're doing, you know? And they did that because they followed that voice, you know, which is, hey, you had to beat them. Well, I'll put it to you like this. If you beat me, all you did was lose me. Goodbye. Goodbye. You're not getting me. The darkness doesn't get me. The night is not awarded me. I continue on and I'm going to make it on through and finish the way I was supposed to finish, which was leaving the night and all the darkness behind. I'm quite sure of that. And so God love you and God keep you. And thanks again for all you're doing to help support us in our success and our victory. Talk to you soon.